Hi, you guys. It's Carmen Castinger again from the Chicago Philharmonic. We're going to work our second section in the Adagio cantabile. We have some really good stuff to play in this. The second violins, we get to start the whole tune, and that's super important that we're really strong because the first violins follow us right after. And then we get to play some chromatic movement. It's kind of the juiciest stuff. Chromatic is just a fancy way of saying stuff that moves in half steps. Today we're going to start again with a little bit of warm-up, a little bit of bow technique, a little scale, and then we're going to break this section, which is bar 17 through 28, into little pieces that are important to practice, and then we'll put it all together today. But I'd like to start with another bow exercise. I really focus on the bow, and you should too, because the bow is what makes the sound. I mean, this stuff is superfluous, really. This is where the money is, okay? So today we're gonna do like let's call it the caterpillar. So I've got my perfect little bow hold where everything's curved just like before. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna caterpillar it, my little feet, all the way up to the tip. This takes a little while, take your time. Try to keep the bow vertical, where the tip of the bow really is pointing at the ceiling the whole time. Gets a little trickier on the way down. Sort of like I reach out with my fingers and I pull them up. Watch what my thumb is doing here. Reach out with my fingers and I pull it up. Try not to grab the hair of the bow too much. We don't want that oil on the hair. It makes it not grab the string quite as well. So all the way up. This kind of stuff really makes sure you have more bow control, which is really kind of everything. Okay, now let's start again with the 4 long bows. Join me. 4 long bows, frog to tip on each string. It's a good time for you to check and make sure you're in tune. G string first. Okay, now let's start with a scale. I think the long slow bow is really the most important thing. If you can do that, you can almost do anything. So let's start with the G major. The reason why I'm picking G major, y'all, is because that's the key we're in. Okay, so G major, high 2s on the G and the D, low 2s on the A and the E, long bows, 1 long bow on each note. Let's do it, starting on the low G. 3, 4. Say really quick that the focus of these long bows is to have a really straight bow, because then you have a good sound from the frog all the way to the tip. Where we usually have a problem is when we open up the bow, get here, we tend to pull back here, right? And then it goes over the fingerboard. It's never that much, I know. But you really don't want it to go over the fingerboard. The way we avoid that is when we get to the middle of the bow, we kind of open our arm. See how I'm straightening my arm? That's what happens. So sort of pull it down and then straighten. And then the reverse on the up bow. Bend it and then go to the frog, okay? So the next bowing we're going to do is slur 2, because we have a lot of slurs in this section. So this is a good place to practice. We're going to divide the bow into 2 parts and make sure that we open our arm when we go to the tip on the second note. I'll show you a little bit and then join me. Hold on. it together. 1 and 2 and. Now down. So let's break this next section down to the tricky bits, okay? So the first thing that's super important are the first 2 bars, bar 17 and 18. So we have to be very strong. We have a long note, and the way to play a long note strong is a really slow bow. Let me play it for you one time. This is the first 2 bars, 17 and 18. Okay, that's only the first half of 18, but you get the idea. So notice, I had a big accent at the start of the first note, and then I really sang out the next 3 notes. So sustain, and then sing, and then nothing, because we have mezzo piano on the second bar. So we want to be soft, because that's actually not the very interesting part, just the first bar. Let's try it together. 2, 3. Good, okay, so the other thing I want you to be aware of is the second note is a low 2. Oops. Let me play the first 2 notes of this for you. Here's the first note we play, second note, low 2. So you can play it by just placing it right next to where I play the first finger, but of course, but on the E string, of course. So let's try this section, these 2 bars one time together again. 3 and 4 and. Okay, so I think it's enough. Let's move on to the next section. This is tricky because we have rests, and we all know from playing in an orchestra, rests are harder to count than the notes we play. Just so we're scared we're waiting too long and we jump in too soon, I think. So this is bar 21 and 22. I'm going to play it for you one time. 3 and 4 and. Okay, do you hear it? So I did a little bang with my foot so you can see that 8th note rest, because it goes and 2 and 3 and 1. Let's try it together. 3 and 4 and. Bang this time, but I want you to feel that. It's a subdivision, like in the first one. Remember where you're counting the little notes? This is one place, so feel the subdivision with that rest. The other thing I want you to be very aware of is, okay, the F sharp is high, like normal, high on the D and the G string. And here on the second measure, this is on bar 22, notice the C sharp. That's a high second finger leading tone to the D that we play in the next bar, okay? So make sure it's high. It's not normally high in G major. Here it's high. One more time, this section. Oh, and I am playing a double stop, so there's 2 notes at once, only because it's 2 open strings. So easy, and it's fun, right? Okay, just 2 notes at the one time. You can pick one or the other if you want, but I think it's safe to play open strings, okay, if you're in tune. All right, so here's 21 and 22 into the downbeat of 23. One more time. 3 and 4 and. Okay, great. So now we're really getting into the juicy stuff of this section. So we have these slurred and these notes moving in half steps. Let me play for you the next entrance, okay? This is on the 4th beat of bar 23. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it. What I'd like to do is play each note together on the entrance, okay? So the first note we have, 4th beat of 23, open A, just play it. Next note is the D. Next note, 3rd finger D. C sharp, which is a high 2. That happens again, right? Here's your B natural in its normal place, right? Nice and high. It repeats. Then B flat. So slide your 1st finger back against the nut. Just put it really on its tip. Here's the B flat. B flat again. Open A. Okay, let's do it one more time, just like that. But I won't talk in between every note. Okay, ready? Here's from the open A, note by note, no slurs or anything, note by note. Okay, now let's add the slurs. It just doubles. Just 2 of every note except for the first one and the last one, right? Let's try this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now something to make this piece really nice, and it's sort of, you know, on piano, they can't play the 2nd note of the slur louder. It's only the 1st strike that's loud. We want to imitate that. So these are called duples because they're 2, okay? Duples, like we're doubling. And you want the 1st note of every 2 to be the strongest. Like a heartbeat, bum, 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 like that. I'll play it, then we'll play it together. 1, 2, 3. We're really practicing this because we have to do it again really quickly, like right after. So it just repeats itself, so it's good to get it really good. Let's try it all together, same place. This is the upbeat to 24. 2 and 3 and. Okay, let's put this section together, okay? Let's go from the beginning. Bar 17 all the way through bar 28. I'll count out loud during the rest and everything so that we make sure we stay together. Okay, let's do it together. Everybody got it? Bar 17. Big accent, big, strong, juicy stuff. 3 and 4 and. Nice and soft. Light in the middle. Here we crescendo. Double stop. 2, 3 and. Okay, that is one heck of a long note because this is super slow. So make sure you move your bow really slowly. We always have a habit of doing this when we have a long note. 2, 3. It's not good. So just go really slow at the start of the stroke. Save your bow. 3, 4, 1. 5 whole beats. It's sort of like you got to save for college, so don't spend it all, you know, getting ice cream. Okay, so let's do it one more time, this whole section together, from bar 17 through bar 28. 3 and 4 and. 2 and 3 and 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. Nice work. Thanks, you guys. See you the next time.